Luke 21:25 through 28. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.
What you gonna be doing today? Are you aware that you're being played by the man with the skin of the shades of gray? Ain't nothing gonna happen if you don't stand up and say, "No way!" For some, it's hard to believe, or even conceive, what's being hushed up to keep us all deceived. They want to turn us dummy, make our brains mushed up and gummy, put chemicals in our tummies till we're all just walking mummies. So many lies have been told, people unaware they're getting sold to the advertisers so they can get more bold. The antibiotics make us weak to all the diseases. We're right there where they want us, because basically they took our freedom when they said we had to need them. They basically took our freedom when they said we had to need them. What you gonna be doing today? Are you aware that you're being played by the man with the skin of the shades of gray? Ain't nothing gonna happen if you don't stand up and say, "No way!" What you gonna do when they come for you? They get us under their thumb like they got something to prove. All we gotta do is make a move, but along the way, how many are we gonna lose? We're gonna have to live underground because that's where they'll be found. When the hell starts to rain down like lava coming from the clouds, they grow our food with poison because the profits grow much more than. They got organics, but who can afford them? No off-grid living is allowed. They try to keep our heads up in the clouds so they can keep us on a string like an instrument they're playing. What you gonna be doing today? Are you aware that you're being played by the man with the skin of the shades of gray? Ain't nothing gonna happen if you don't stand up and say, "No way!" Look it up, look it up. If you don't know the truth, then here's your wake-up call. So listen up now before you lose it all. You're getting brainwashed by the ones who produce your fun. They want to try to take our guns. Vaccines filled with mercury. Look it up before you dismiss me. They want to keep us walking around blindly so they can live so highly with their nations all crying from the damage they're applying. They're all liars, hooking you up to their wires, blinding us from the truth that's dire. Wake up before you're on fire. The conspiracies are true. They always keeping you in IOU, making up fake stories all over the news. They perform evil rituals. Check it out with YouTube views, including the last 15 presidents. Many Congress are also present. They need to be taught a lesson. So let's put their school in session before the 1% enslaves us or ships us all to camps crammed on a bus, then eventually left to die, like they're already doing worldwide. They're taking our minds for a ride. The destination you won't be able to decide unless we stand up and everybody knows what they're trying to hide. As long as we're all distracted, we won't notice how we're being impacted. Then we all will wake up one day with our freedom taken away. Look it up, look it up. The police are in their training to eliminate who will be complaining. How can we protect ourselves if we don't all connect because the conspirers intercept? What will they do with whoever's left after they eliminate the population's rest? They don't want you to save your soul by keeping you hypnotized under their control. Flashback. Look up the video of the Twin Towers, like it imploded with magical powers. They tell us it was caused by a plane. To believe that would be completely insane, but they engraved it into our brains so we would agree with the wars that later came. Now we find out that JFK was assassinated by the CIA. What next are you going to say? That in order to breathe you have to pay? We need to change the focus and get rid of these evil jokers before they decide it's time to smoke us. Look it up, look it up. Everything we've ever been taught is a lie, and you might be asking why. Because they want most of us to die, or lock us up without being fairly tried. Then they can hoard up their own supplies, and when we rise up, they'll all go under the ground and hide. So what are we supposed to do when most people don't have a clue and they refuse to believe what's true? They can just take us all down in twos. Why ignore it when you have everything to lose? If maintaining humanity under 500 million doesn't give you a spine chillin', then you must be walking around numb, right under the government's thumb. There won't be a place to run when we're outnumbered with the force by guns, and we're left with nothing but crumbs. So we will die off one by one. Most put their heads in the sand to not hear what they don't understand. The piles of evidence is never enough for those who refuse to ever look up. The truth will never make any sense if we are refusing to commence.
This is my favorite psalm, Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. God bless.